I understand Kelly. I like Kelly. I like Rick. I feel authenticity with Kelly because she goes from like hot to cold. Like, do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, Kelly wears her emotions on her sleeve. And I like that. According to you, Sarah Fraser, you're either of the people or of the business. Well, guess what? Kelly Dodd may have started of the business, but Kelly Dodd's style is very similar to mine. Like, she's of the people. She doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, listen, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you this truth in this situation. All of you, stop fucking lying. And we all know that when you're on the show and part of the corporate machine, you do lie and you do give your
A
corporate
lot,
answers. Right.
a lot.
So, I mean, look, Kelly was upset with me when Braun was on my show and Braun had said something about her. I didn't say it, Kelly. You shouldn't be mad at me, but at least she called me and told me to fuck off and then we worked it out. Like, so she is upset. So when Tamra said this, Kelly, the first thing Kelly did was like, really? You don't want me back? Because I have like 30 pages of text from you that tell you how much you love me. So that's why I love Kelly. Like, she's just like, just do you like me or not? Which is it? Because you're texting me how much you love me and you're saying in front of like a national platform that you don't want me back. So that's why I like her. She's like, let's just cut through the shit. And which is it? It's either A or B. So don't get on Kelly's bad side. So because Tamra said this, the person I want back the least, and Kelly was like, well, here are all the texts, whatever. I guess Kelly made it her mission quietly over the past 2 months to just investigate Tamra. And now we have, and by the
Well,
way, when
you
your
know this
husband
about
used to
Rick.
work, right, when your husband used to
Exactly.
work for Fox, I mean, Kelly and Rick are a good team.
I mean, Rick's a journalist. Like Rick is a journalist for years and years and years. So I mean, Rick knows all the places to fight. And that's why I tend to, I mean, Tamra has come out and basically given them fired a warning shot, which, you and I know means shit. But basically saying, watch what you say, because I think insinuating that Tamra and Eddie will sue, which I don't think that they will. But I don't know. I mean, I tend to believe Rick and Kelly on this one, that there is no record that they actually own the company.
I mean, look, I mean, what they're saying, and again, I didn't get into the weeds because, guys, it's moving fast here and we don't have hours to get into. But I mean, I believe from watching it all, Kelly and Rick are basically saying, like, I mean, it's like a white label product, which is, well, there's really nothing wrong with it. But like, they send you the product and, you say you're Tamra, like Vicky can have CBD or Andy, if you're famous, this is how it works. You get a generic product and you say it's my
Yes.
product. It's not really wrong. But I mean, to Kelly's point, that is a lot different than saying, you patented this, you started the company, you owned
Thank you.
it. There is a difference. So, I mean, I agree. Look what Rick used to do for a living. I mean, I don't think that Rick, he knows what he's doing. So I don't think that Kelly just woke up on a Tuesday and said, this is what today's the day I'm going to just make this lie up. I mean, it seemed if you
Oh,
follow
yeah.
their logic, there's a lot of stuff there. I mean, look, Tamara was already, I mean, look, you can say anything about anyone you want. When it gets to business, you do get into defamation and slander and libel a lot more. So, I mean, this is a business thing. And yes, Tamara is implying she's going to sue. I mean, the number one defense to any of these suits is truth. So if it's true, you can sue all day. You're not going to win. Also, Tamara was already involved in a lawsuit with Heather McDonald, the brilliant Heather McDonald, and I'm being sarcastic, and that Shannon girl, Shannon Bedore, when they said that Jim Bellino's trampoline company, that,
Yes.
right, when it goes to like and you have to also show damages. So, I mean, but I mean, right, I don't think Tamara would sue. I tend to believe Kelly and Rick, and this, I just think that Rick, this is what he did. And why are you going to come? I mean, it's not like a day later. A day later, she said, I have text messages that say how much you love me. I think they investigated this, and it sounds like that's what it is. Right. I mean, there's cameras saying something about an LLC and like it's different. I mean, I understand what she's trying to say, but I don't know, Tamara girl. I don't know. And I mean, does it even matter? I guess. But look, I mean, I'm not going to get on Kelly's bad side and have her go investigate shit about me. I mean, I think it's great. Like you lay in wait. But that's what I love about Kelly. She's like, look, good or bad, this is the truth. You're caught in another lie. She's exposing the lies, that Kelly Dodd. I'm kind of here for this one.
I'm not surprised. And I told you this. We don't have to talk about it today, or we can go in depth, but I listened to Rewives because I've been saying that I wanted to, Bethany's new podcast. And one of the interesting things is Bethany had Tori Spelling on. I listened to that episode, and Bethany said the same thing. Bethany came out that just basically said all of these, for the most part, most of these women do not have any money at all. Everything that you see is rented, borrowed, leased. Are you raising your hand? Do you need to what?
I'm raising my hand because it's like, did you ever hear that statement before? Behind the velvet rope? This is my biggest. I've been saying this for 10 years.
Bethany listened to you and then repeated it. Yeah, I mean, Bethany says, on this, that for the most part, none of these women have any money. And I'm sure you've heard this over the years. I have, living in DC, obviously them casting Potomac, but usually the people that have a real money, a lot of money, do not want to be on these shows. Because I think, to your point, right, they probably don't want to be investigated. They don't want to kick up a hornet's nest. They got a real good life. I'm not saying that they're not like doing things above the books, but I think that, they know if you have real money, you become a target for lawsuits and everything else. So why put themselves on TV? So most of these women do not have any money, and they make money after being on this show if they become rich at all.
Yeah. And like, I have technically no problem with that, but then I also have a big problem with it because you are acting like you have money. You're spending like you have money and living above your means, which does lead to the Jen Shahs and the Tom Girardis of the world. Not saying Erica Jane, I'm saying Tom Girardi and all these other scandals. And what the other part is, it's just all these adoring fans, like lapdogs looking up like, oh, look, it's so and so, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to be friends with that person in life. Like, no, I don't want this. And mind you, hang out with these people. I mean, I've been there, guys. It's very chaotic, and it's just like,
it's
we haven't even gotten to the damn fucking restaurant for the drink, and you're crying, and there's tissues, and there's trauma. This ain't how I want to run my life. That's just me. I'm not bitter. It's the new year. Happy to everyone. I don't really want to engage. And I know plenty of people with real money, and they have just wonderful lives, and they pay for what's in front of them. And, like my good friend, Catherine Edwards, who happened to be on the show. She's in India this month. Like, I mean, guys, being on the show is not the ultimate. So what else did Bethany say, though? Like, just about, is that that was her main point? Anything else you took away from Rewives?
Oh, well, I listened to Rewives. I took extensive notes.
Ooh.
Well, here, I'll start with what I liked, because I always, I heard this saying that what you criticize, you can't become. So I always try to go into things looking at, like, what are the things that I really admire or like about this person? I actually think her concept of Rewives is a unique one. She takes a very famous scene from Housewives. And this one with Tori Spelling was of the limo scene with Kyle and Kim, where Kyle basically says to Kim, "You're an alcoholic," and everybody knows it, So it was